Hi. Okay, you ready to do this?
Let's do it. I'm so excited.
I just had a crazy idea and I'm not doing anything else, so
Right? I mean,
let's
that's
talk
how
about.
that's how some of the best things happen.
I'm Jess Kenyon and this is The Dresser. Excellent.
Excellent.
Okay, let's do it. Ready?
But yes, I'm ready.
Okay, today on The Dresser we have Heidi Kettenring, my friend. Hi, Heidi. Heidi's been in a million things here in Chicago, but most recently you were in The Secret of My Success at Paramount,
Correct?
um, which had to close early because of COVID-19. How
Yeah.
many shows did you get to do? How many weeks were you guys going?
We had 2 weeks to go, so I want to say we probably completed four.
Okay, so you got most of it done.
Yeah, we had a really good run. I mean, when we had the meeting to close it, it wasn't like, but we never got to we got to experience it. We got to see, since it was new, we got to see what the audience, if the audience were going to love it, and they did. Um, and actually, sort of a good thing, we thought we were going to reconvene to do like a multi-camera shoot because they had a lot of possible donors coming to see it, like backers, and they
Right.
couldn't come. So they wanted to get together a video shoot. So we all thought we would maybe get back together in like a week. And sadly, there was just no way to get, I don't think they were thinking in order to do it, you'd have to get all of the crew, all of the orchestra, all of the cast, and that was more than the stay-at-home order would allow at the time. So
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it was like 10 people then. So
Yeah.
even if you just had 10 people on stage, which I'm sure you did.
Yeah, no, we had like 30.
Yeah.
There was just literally no way. But I think there was still like a wonder of, well, could we do that? Could we, and the good thing about that is we didn't think it was our last day. So we had hey, see you next week,
Yeah.
which was actually kind of nice. We
Yeah.
had a party, but still.
The same thing happened. We had no idea, of course, that we weren't going to do the show. And
You
then
had
we
like
kind of,
1 week left, yeah?
we had 4 days, 5 days.
Okay.
I mean, I think we did the show on Wednesday and then we were supposed to close on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we were close, which it was kind of like even a little bit more sad because we almost made it.
Yeah.
And we didn't know it was our last show, but we had a secret before the, you know, don't have more than 2 people together rule went into effect. We had a secret cast party the next day.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Yeah.
that was nice. And that was like the last time I saw anyone that
And
I
what a
knew.
great bunch of people that was. Oh my God. Just like
Oh my
magic
God.
helped all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about Emma at CST, by the way, which I never said that out loud. But yeah, I mean, oh, it was exactly what I needed. Sometimes you just, I don't know, you get like bogged down in the everyday and, I mean, especially I'm sure driving to Paramount every day has got to be.
Oh my God, it's a long drive.
Ooh. And, I got married and then we did Romeo and Juliet, which I think is a way more cursed show than Macker's ever has been. Everybody always gets hurt. It's always a nightmare. And then it's sad every day.
It's sad.
Yeah. And so it's hard to be sad every day.
Yeah.
So it was so nice to do something where everyone was so lovely and it was beautiful and everybody fell in love and it was a breath of fresh air.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah,
Yeah.
Secret of My Success was similar. I mean, it's funny. I think about it now. I just thought about it today. I was looking out the back window at my garage where my car is, and I have not been in my car. God, I go to the grocery store every 2 weeks. So it's a little over 2 weeks because I'm going to go today. But I went from driving 101 miles
Wow.
a day to 2 miles every 2 weeks.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm saving a little money.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely saving gas money.
Yeah.
For sure. The first show that we did together was Pinocchio at Chicago Shakespeare, which I have a strange hole in my memory and I don't remember play.
One of the many reasons why I remember it when so viscerally is that I met a bunch of people that I didn't know. You being one of them, Brian Hill and Neil Bartram, who wrote it. And what's such a weird thing about that one is I forget that I only did it for like 2 weeks.
Right.
The rehearsal process was like 5 weeks and it was so much fun. So I actually worked on it for like 2 months.
Sure.
And I was playing a cat, and my partner was Derek Hasenstab, and it was like the beginning of us getting to be partners for a couple of shows together, which is a delight because he's so wonderful.
Yes.
It just was really bizarre and fun. And I loved my costume. Like,
it was like a cute little vest and
yeah, it was
ears.
like I had ears and a nose, like like the only prosthetic I had was a little nose that sort of looked like bubble gum shaped into a perfect cat nose. And then this beautiful sort of blondishy white wig with the ears in it.
Oh yeah.
And then it was like a navy blue, almost like a I don't know what you would call them. They're the kind of coats that like are worn in Jane Austen by the men, that are long in the back and short in the front.
Oh, a cutaway.
Yeah, it was a cutaway, and then like pants and boots and a sort of fluffy white shirt. She was sort of a dandy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so, and I think I had to wear a corset. I remember it feeling very structured,
Sure.
because the coat kind of came across my rib cage a little bit. And we were talking about a quick change, and what's funny is,
What would you have played before?
oh, you know what it might have been? I had to be like a boy on the cart when that's
Right.
probably what it was. Like I was like when we get taken to the island of where the boys,
Donkey
the donkey
sadness.
island, yeah.
Yeah.
With Liz Pasek on the coat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was probably either being a boy. Oh, right, because we threw those big balls into the audience. We had to throw big giant balls into the audience. And I remember saying, because of a Gilmore Girls quote, something about, yeah, but we're throwing them to all the children with their sticky jam hands. Like their
Oh
hands are
yeah.
all sticky, and we're going to get these sticky balls thrown back at us. So we ended up naming the baby in the baby carriage jam hands.
I love it. I still say jam hands, and it's from that. And I
It's from
didn't
Pinocchio.
know that it came from that show until this moment.
Yeah, it's from that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Heidi. What cosmetic is something that you just couldn't live without?
Well, I brought a show and tell,
Yay!
because what's interesting, when I was thinking about that question, I was like, all right, well, quarantine has taught me a lot about cosmetics, because I've always been like, well, I got to put something on.
Right.
And I haven't put makeup on other than for something like this in 5 weeks, and
Yeah.
have noticed that when I go to the grocery store, I don't think twice about it. And even for something like this, I'm like, what if I had no time? There are two things that I put on, and only one that I feel like I absolutely must. The one that I could do without, but that I find important, is mascara.
Yeah.
But the most important is my Burt's Bees tinted lip gloss, because even when I don't wear any makeup at all, if I put in this color is Red Dahlia, is my favorite. I have it on right now. It just gives me
A little bit of color.
a little bit of color, because I'm so pale that if I, it's fine, right? You and I both. So this is like if I lose this, which I do sometimes, I will go buy another one, and then I'll find the other one and end up with like three of them. And that's okay.
Not a bad problem.
Not a bad problem.
I don't normally wear a lot of makeup in my daily life, and this lipstick is the first makeup I've worn probably since the opening of Emma.
Okay, sure. It's making me very happy. It's actually reminding me, and this is reminding me, when I was in high school, I didn't wear any makeup, but I always wore lipstick. I liked being, and it was sort of maybe my homage in the late 80s, early 90s to, like, I don't know, goth, but it was like I was so pale, and then I would wear like a purple lip for, I remember I had one, it was, I don't remember, maybe it was Revlon. It was a brand that was, it had a silver tube and it was clear in the middle. So you could see the color of the wax in the middle.
Yeah.
And I had one that was kind of a fuchsia. And I never thought about it, but my mom's best friend, Angie, one day commented on the fact that she loved my sense of style, that even though I wore a uniform to school, that I always had on a bold lip.
That's adorable.
I
I
know.
wore a shit ton of makeup in high school, and
Yeah.
eyeliner and mascara, and my eyes just got so sensitive at some point in my life that I can't wear mascara at all. The only
Really.
mascara I can wear is Arbonne, but still,
That's what I'm wearing.
it's like I use it very sparingly.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But I miss it because I like mascara because I feel really, really pale and
Yeah, but see, you have such beautiful blue eyes that just sort of pop. You don't like I'm looking at them right now, and you know, you don't need that stuff.
yeah. I don't need it, but
Right.
I would like it sometimes.
Sure. I've had a troubled relationship with mascara because my favorite one, they changed it's like they changed the formula on it. It was L'Oreal Voluminous mascara,
Sure.
and it was like product loyal. That is what I wore. I loved it. I loved it. And there were a bunch of us who did. And then I posted on Facebook actually after several months. I was like, has anybody else noticed it's gotten clumpy and like you have to literally clean the brush off every time to put it on? And the comment section was like, oh my God, I thought it was just me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I ditched that. And so other than Arbonne, which I now use also, I like Almay's multi-purpose, multi-benefit. Almay, it's changed. Again, the formula keeps changing, but Almay multi-benefit formula.
I used Almay, but I felt like it dried out really quick. And for somebody who doesn't really use a lot of mascara, I feel like I got 2 uses out of it and then it was trash.
Okay, that's fair. I can see that. They do dry out. Like, with theater stuff, since I have to use it every day, I don't notice, but
Right, totally. Maybe I wish they made smaller, you know,
right,
travel size ones or something.
right. It's the one cosmetic you can't really,
Mm-mm.
get in a small size.
All right, we're gonna just trademark that idea right here.
Yep.
Travel size mascara.
Travel size mascara right here.
Tell me one thing that you always have in your dressing room.
One thing I always have in my dressing room is my box of angel cards.
Oh, yes. I love those angel cards.
I do
They
too.
are, it's so nice to have something to sort of like focus on.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, and what's funny, actually, my last show, in Secret of My Success, I would forget sometimes, and nothing makes me happier than somebody going, whoa, 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 where are the angel cards?
Yeah.
And for those of you who are not familiar with what that is, they're these cards that they're teeny tiny, and they have a little drawing of an angel on them, and then a word, and the words are gratitude, depth, risk, willingness, and you just draw one, and it's your word for the day, and whatever that means for you. Actually, and I have my theater box, and then I have a set at home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I keep them by my bed now. It's different in non-quarantine time, but I'm finding that when I want to draw it is right before I go to bed, interestingly, as opposed to the beginning of the day.
Huh.
I don't really know why, but my one last night was freedom,
Oh, that's nice.
which was a really nice one. I had a kind of a irritating technology audition-y day yesterday, and it was kind of nice. It was like sort of the perfect word of releasing myself from, you know,
Yeah, all that.
all that,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the reason that we are here. We are going to talk about your favorite costume that you've ever worn and my favorite costume of yours that you've ever worn. But I want you to go first. Tell me, what is your favorite costume?
Okay. I thought long and hard about this because I have some great costumes that I've gotten to wear. But the costume that, I felt like $1,000,000 putting it on, from the first fitting to the last day. And it's even now, it's in displays in museums. Sometimes this costume, literally, they rent it out and it's like been at the Lyric. is my Eliant costume from School for Lies by David Ives, designed by Susan Mickey, who just, that woman, she is dear and kind and brilliant. And honest to God, I couldn't believe it with every, like in those fittings, like she's got, oh, this costume is so ridiculous that she had to get like reams of paper to like fold up and attach to me to see what, before we cut this very expensive silk and, you know, whatever all that was made out of. Let's try it with giant reams of paper. And she pinned these cones of paper to me. And oh, I love that costume.
It's gorgeous. We're going to show a couple pictures of it right here.
Great.
And I mean, it's so beautiful. It's amazing how like chaotic and structured it is at the same time. That huge looping skirt that had so much structure and is so fun, with that beautiful like silk corset top, all the bows. You had bows in your hair.
There were those tiny little, they were almost like sequins, but they weren't sequins. They were like little bubble. I remember them because I have, some of them fell off and they're now glued into my box that I have all my stuff in. All of those details. Oh my God.
Such a gorgeous costume. And you were wearing like fishnets underneath.
Hot pink fishnets.
I think you had like pink dyed, you know, like period heels with a frilly.
Yep.
And pearls. You were wearing pearls.
I was wearing pearls and pearls in my hair. Although I feel like the pearls in my hair got cut. It's funny because a lot of the publicity shots that we have, things like, for example, the little, there was like, they felt like there was too much of my bosom exposed. So there was like an added sort of capelet.
Yeah.
That made her more demure. And there were pearls in my curly wig that I feel like they were cut because that was too much with the capelet. I have this amazing picture of you too, because we rolled around on the, I mean, it was this the show was so physical and we rolled around on the floor in these amazing costumes. So our tulle skirts would get holes ripped in them. And I have a picture of you with your head poking through, I think it was one of, I can't remember which of the two ladies, probably Deb, like your face through a big hole in Deb's tulle skirt.
You're going to have to send me that.
Oh, it's really good.
If you can find it. I would
and pictures of us with only the tops on and not the skirts in our like fishnets and perfectly matchy underwear.
I know, it was kind of amazing, the underneath garments in that whole thing. Yeah. Everybody's like matching underwear, matching tights.
Oh, dear departed Judith Marie.
Oh my God, Juju Ma.
My Juju Ma with her neck thing.
She would wear this piece of tape like around the back of her neck to like pull her face back.
It was like a neck lift as opposed to a facelift. It was brilliant, but there were certain times that she would get so carried away. We're like, we can see it. And she'd just laugh and laugh. Oh, I got a little carried away. I was feeling really old.
Yeah. Oh, she was wonderful.
She was wonderful. That was a great dressing room. We had a good time in there.
Great. I mean, it was such a weird show for us because you all got dressed and then we undressed you at intermission so you could go to the bathroom and then you got dressed again.
Oh, that's right. And then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But you had a lot of stuff with
Samuel. Yeah. Samuel Taylor, who played like grungy servant, posh servant. And the only costume change I wish I had a video of in my whole career is this change that we did with Samuel at the end where they were like, "Where's your brother?" You know, and he was like,
"Yes."
And then he goes through the door and we had about 50 seconds to do this: shoes, socks, pants, shirt, vest, sash, wig, eyebrows, you know, mustache, belt. It was like literally everything that you could change on someone we had to change. And it was me and Matthew and Katie. And we each kind of took a section of the body, you know, feet, middle, top. And by the time we finished it, I think the fastest we ever did it was like 32 seconds.
Oh my God.
And I wish I could see it because that was awesome. It was one of those times where like you finish something and then you're like, just enter early because this is so impressive.
We want them to know you're ready.
Yes. We
Yeah.
just want you to just go now. And then everybody will not even believe it was possible that we did that. And I'm sure to, the audience, 50 seconds doesn't feel like very much time.
That's something that actually, though, I would love for anybody who's never done theater, who sees it a lot, lay out as quick riggy of clothes as you have, like,
Yeah.
even if it's just a button and a snap and a t-shirt and a pair of shoes and for a woman, a bra, and change your entire outfit as quickly as possible and put a timer on you and see how long it takes.
Totally.
Because some of
And
my
then
favorite
put
things
your
that have
hair
happened
up and then try to take your hair down and put on a lipstick.
and put on a lipstick and like, because some of my favorite things that have been recorded and aired in the last several years, there's a beautiful video of Kelly O'Hara wanting the world to see what a costume change in The King and I was like because of the true art form of a costume change.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It's so beautiful, and it's something that we talk about it a lot in Q&As and stuff, but like the actual choreography and art form of a quick change, you can't really explain it to somebody who just doesn't understand. Like ours with the other costume that I thought about talking about was the Mrs. costume in Sunday in the Park with George, that beautiful sort of little Bo Peep costume. And normally I played Frida and then became Mrs. And normally I feel like the nurse plays Mrs.
Oh,
because there's a longer break for
right.
the nurse. So I was shocked that I got to play the part, and that quick change was, I mean, it took us a while to figure it out, but once we did, it was like, how does one have the conversation of, I'm going to start on the floor, you're going to run off stage and throw your dress over my head, I'm going to have a flashlight in my mouth.
Yeah, so we can't actually talk while we're doing
No,
this.
I'll tap you on your calf when I'm done with one leg so you can lift up the other, because you're going to be holding your fingers over your head so that you can change your wig while somebody else is zipping you up the back.
Yep.
And how does the math of that conversation even begin? And it's such a beautiful art form.
I love it. I love when I get to do like an actually fast costume change. It's the most fun thing to get right for me.
Yeah. Is there a fine line between having some really awesome quick changes and, oh my God, this is ludicrous?
I think
There's
it
too
always
much.
I think it always has to start with this is ludicrous. It
Okay.
always has, like, for me, it's whenever people want me to change people's socks, like we have 40 seconds and then you want me to,
Like, no one's going to see those socks.
no, I just, that's, no, I'm not doing it. And then
And then you do it. And that's fine.
by the time we get it, we do it. But yeah, there are, I think there have only been about maybe 3 in the past 15 years where I was like, I just don't know if we can even do this yet at all the way it is. The ones that were really crazy for me were in Gypsy, because there's that montage where she like
Oh, yeah.
comes out and sings 2 lines and then comes backstage and changes the clothes and comes back out. And I think we did 4 in a row in under 2 minutes,
Oh my God.
maybe 2.5 minutes, because she would like sing for 30 seconds and we would have 10, 12, 20 seconds at most to,
And that's not just an unzip. That's like, here's your
oh
this piece and this
no.
piece and your boa and your new wig and your.
It was, that was hard. That one was really hard. And there actually was one in this midsummer that we just did, where of course at the end everybody changes, but Hippolyta and
Mm,
what's his name become Oberon and Titania become Hippolyta and
right.
Theseus, right?
Yes. Yes. Oh God, it's been so long.
Um, and it was like it wasn't taking off a lot of stuff, but like a huge belt, pants, boots, into full dress uniform with sashes and
Yeah.
all this epaulette stuff. And um, yeah, that one was kind of a nightmare, but
Oh, it's got my brain on a whir of, because we never even got to, we would be in tech right now for As You Like It right
I
now.
know, yeah,
And I had a costume fitting scheduled like 3 days after
yeah,
this home started. And so I don't even know,
I
like,
know.
I don't even have a vision of what my 60s, like, cause I had, whatever Phoebe would be, but then apparently I was going to be like the WWE, cause we were doing a pre-show. Did you know that?
I think that Bree told me that. Um, I think that I heard that.
Maybe I'm not allowed to talk about it, but in any event, there's a pre-show, and I was like some wrestler's girlfriend or something like that. So we never got to see those sketches.
Maybe we
Hopefully,
will. Hopefully we will.
yep, hopefully we will.
I hope
That's
so.
hope.
My favorite costume that you ever wore was actually not in a show that I did with you, but it was from The Music Man at Goodman. And
Yes,
it's we'll show a picture of it, but it's this huge bow thing, American flag dress. And from the minute I saw those production photos, I was like, oh my God, it's just perfectly draped. You know, it's a flag, and it's still like the most beautiful way I've ever seen anyone wear a flag ever in my life.
I love that costume so much. First of all, that huge costume is one of the most comfortable costumes I have ever worn.
Is it
Believe
silk? Was it silk? It looks like it's
No, it's almost, I don't know what that material would be. It's not burlap, makes it sound terrible, but it was whatever the material was, they painted by hand
wow.
that flag.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, so it was like whatever the material was, it had to be able to I mean, it was it felt kind of like a raw cotton, like just
Sure.
um but I mean down to the shoes, it was hand painted.
Wow.
Um if I'm remembering correctly, it was one piece.
Yeah, it looks like one piece.
Yeah, and there was like, oh, this was actually a really fun day in the fitting. So we have the fitting, and Anna Kuzmanik was the costume designer, and she's just, I love this woman. She's kind and fun and cool, and um, I ask her forgiveness right now because I'm going to get this wrong, but I want to say she's from the Czech Republic originally. And I bring that up because the one of the drapers one day, she had draped and like sewn together parts of the flag bodice. Was it the bodice? Yeah, it was like one sleeve was the stars and the other sleeve was
Right.
solid or something.
Yeah.
And she was making this face, and Anna was like, "What? Why are you making that face?" And she said, "Well, technically, a flag should always have the stars on one side and the stripes on the other, and there are a lot of people out there who are very big sticklers about that, and this costume is the opposite." And Anna was like, "You needed to, oh my God, we have to because I'm not originally from America, like I don't want people to be like, oh well, great, so they completely redid, like they took all of the sleeves off and they moved the drape to the other side so that people, specifically people who take the flag very seriously and very personally, wouldn't sit out there going, well, you know and what's also so great is that technically that scene in the play, the women are as written originally, they're doing a sort of dance as Native American women, and it's very troublesome. And so the request was, well, we can't do that. We're not going to do that. But so what do we do instead? So I did an Americana poem. But so on the first day, when I walked over to the wall to look at my renderings, and I was like, are you kidding me that you're going to make me that costume? I get to wear that? And she was like, well, I wanted to make it look as America as possible.
It does.
Oh,
It's stunning. It's so beautifully made that I really thought that it was like printed silk.
yeah, no, it was painted by hand by the crafts department, or actually, I don't know if it was the crafts department or the wardrobe department. It was probably wardrobe. And that crown on my head, that was a learning curve of like, I can't stand. We had to change some blocking because you couldn't stand too close to me or I would hit you. You know,
Of course.
yeah. And I'm trying to remember. I had an
Stand
accident.
like this.
I think it was that costume. No, it wasn't in that costume. I had an accident while I was there. I got my hand stuck in a door and had to be taken to the emergency room. But
Oh no.
it was terrible. I thought I had lost. Anyway,
Oh.
um, but I couldn't use my hand, obviously. And was it that costume? Anyway, the village it took to get me out
Out
costumes.
without using your hand. Oh my God, you poor thing.
Yeah, but I have full. Well, actually, I can still feel it, but I have full range of motion, which is good.
Yeah, I have one finger that I cut and I can't
Does
feel.
it get like what's weird with mine in particular? If it's cold outside, I can feel it all the way down to my bone.
Oh yeah, it's just like tingly.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's almost like for me, I can feel
weird.
the divot that it must have. The doctor was like, it's not broken, but it's as close to a break as possible. Like I can see on the X-ray where the impact is, and
Oh.
yeah. Oh,
Did
it
you
was
have to wear
something.
a splint?
No, I what I did was, luckily, actually, it was my dominant hand because I was able to pay attention. And since it was this finger, I would just like I had to hold a torch and I would hold it like this, and
You did a lot of finger acting.
I did a lot of finger acting, and the wound on it was pretty small. Um,
It was just
I
internal.
it was ugly. I mean, my whole hand turned purple, but I would put a big band-aid on it to keep it sort of splinted,
Right.
But the doctor was like, no, there's nothing broken. I mean, you could if you want, but so since it was right around my knuckle, I would just put like a huge band-aid on it, and
And then it would keep it straight.
yeah,
Ooh.
I know. And luckily it was the Music Man and I was ukulele, so I did have to fall to the floor, but I figured out that the next day I said, let me come in early. I need to see if I can fall to the floor, and I need to see of my choreography, what I can do. And I could just grab people's hand I just look very proper with my one finger pointing out.
Fancy.
But oh, this is actually funny. The press pictures for that were taken the very next day.
Oh, of
And,
course they were.
oh yeah, and I didn't have anything on it, and it still hadn't started to turn purple yet. But there's this shot of the Pickle Little Ladies, and if you zoom in on it, it's like glossy and huge. I mean, it was like it's actually hilarious, and the look on my face is from the scene, but the look on my face is like it's really good.
I love it. I'll
Yeah.
see if I can find it for the
Yeah.
viewers.
Yes, please.
Amazing. Well, Heidi, thank you for having this conversation with me. And
This
also,
is
I love
so
you.
delightful. I just love you so much, and I love what we do for a living. But one of my favorite parts is wardrobe, and part of it is the um, and I credit you and Katie Courts with this, is the joint effort that it takes, because I have worked in a lot of places where there isn't a staff to help, and you have to kind of do it on your own, and it's chaos. And the two of you, Jessica and Katie Courts, taught me how to be a part of a collaborative costume change. And it literally changed how the theater rolls for me,
Yes. That's
because it made
awesome.
this kind of stressful, oh my God, I have all these fast costume changes, into this is like the funnest math ever. And when we get it right,
It feels so good.
Oh, it feels so good to like literally turn around. You're on stage and you're like, how the hell am I wearing this completely different thing? And I know that there's two people standing backstage giving each other a high five because we all did that together.
Yes.
I
I love
love
That's awesome. Do you want people to find you anywhere on the internet or not find you anywhere on the internet?
I'm not really. I mean, my internet presence is low. I am though taking quarantine. I'm finally going to build a website because it's time.
Okay.
But I'm on Facebook. It's my name and Instagram. Pahada.
Tell me where that comes from.
Oh yes. So very long story short, when I met Sean Allen Krill,
Ah,
the
I
dear
love.
Sean Allen Krill, my friend Sarah Davis, who I don't know if you ever knew Sarah. She had moved by the time.
I don't think so.
Sarah is wonderful. She's a dear, dear, dear friend and an amazing performer, and she lives in Silicon Valley now. She's a just tech guru. She's so smart. And she was talking about her friend Guy Atkins
Mm-hmm.
and his new boyfriend, Pashan. So when I met Sean, I I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, hi Pashan, is your name Pashan? And he burst out laughing, and I was like, not Pashan. He said, no. When I met Sarah, I said, oh, is it Sarah with an H? And she said, no, but there's a silent P at the beginning as a joke. No, but I have a silent P at the beginning. So they started calling each other Pasara and Pashan. So because I literally thought his name was Pashan, he was like, is yours Pahada?
And there it is.
And that was when the internet was first entering my life. So I thought I'd be clever and make there's no Heidi Kettenring anywhere else in the world. I could have made it easy on everybody and been Heidi Kettenring at AOL.com or whatever it was. But no, it had to be Pahada, which for many years was very confusing. And now it's like the greatest bad choice I ever made.
Yep.
Making my
Love it.
handle Pahada.
I love it. I never knew. I always wondered if it was some sort of like backwards. Blah.
No, it started with him calling me Pahidi, which turned into Pahada, which like Guy literally got to the point where he'd go, hop up. He would call me pop.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it's
Okay,
sometimes
well,
Pahada Kata, Pahada Paka Hot and Raga. Like, let's whatever.
it got amazing.
It got amazing.
I love it. Okay, well, thank you, Heidi.
I love you, Jess Canyon.
I love you too.
Love you.
I